It has been so long since I've sat here and actually made a wizard video like this. The last two that I've made for, wizard have just been live streams, and it's been leveling up my storm character. My life character hasn't been leveled up in a while. I haven't done that walkthrough in a little bit, so we're kind of behind, but we're almost level 130. I mean, we're getting there, but yeah, we just haven't recorded that in a really long time. That's just because I felt like there wasn't much that I wanted to record in the game at the moment. Yeah, there was a couple new things that they added to the crown shop, like the friendship table and the sweetheart permanent mount, but I didn't really think that these were video worthy, and I didn't really want to buy them, to be honest. But yeah, those are like the only two new things recently. So I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna wait until something comes out, or I feel like recording something, and yeah, we'll just wait until that. And so far there hasn't been too much going on, but there is something that I saw that I wanted to do a video on, and it's an idea for something that they could add into the game at some point. No idea if they ever will, but it's just something I want to throw out there, something that I thought was super unique and would make the game a lot more fun, especially like towards the end game. So here we go. This is an idea from Skarrix. I've done stuff of his, looked at his work before in videos, but this one is one that he showed me the concepts of early, and even wanted some input on it before he actually created this. And I'll put up on the screen what it looks like. So this is a battle circle against a raid boss, and the raid boss is in the background there. There's better pictures of the boss a little bit later, but what you see that's really unique about this is the battle circle, the duel circle, is only half, but they've added in, it's basically doubled the amount of players on one side of it. Because if it's going to be a raid, we're going to have to add more players to it. That's kind of just what raids are in a lot of other MMOs, is it ups the player count to be able to go through it and kind of go through it and see if you can overcome that challenge together with more players. And we've never had a dungeon or anything in this game that's been more than 4 players. So they have to decide how they want to get all these players into a instance where there's 8 of them. And then you also got to decide, okay, how is the battle actually going to work here? And Skarrix has it laid out where there's a big health bar at the top of the screen, and it looks like there's little like kind of check marks that maybe the boss will do some kind of cheat after you get the health bar lower. Like maybe once you get it past the first bar, he does some kind of attack, and you have to plan for that. You'd be like, okay, time to deal enough damage to actually get him past that mark, and then he'll deal some kind of attack to everyone. And then that happens many times. What is it? 2, 4, 6, 7 times he has it laid out where something happens as you get the bar lower. But you got 8 players to work with. This isn't like a normal battle where you have 4. This isn't like the Medulla fight where you have to do, what is it, 100 something thousand damage, and you only have 4 players to do it. This one you have 8. So I just want to see what it would be like to have 8 players on one side of the battle, all being able to work together. It'd be a little weird with how you like pick who you want to cast your spell on, like if you want to blade someone. So it'd be a little different there, but like hopefully you'd be able to click on everyone around the circle. If you can't, then you're gonna have to click their names at the bottom if you want to cast a blade on someone specific. But it's a super cool idea. Maybe they wouldn't do 8, maybe they would do like 6 or something, and they'd have to like kind of balance that for the 6 players. But 8 would be super awesome because, you know, the duel circle is 8 players or players and enemies that can kind of fit in all battle together. But this is like 8 on one side and 1 on the other side because, well, it's going to be the raid boss. It's going to be whatever boss that all these players are going to try to defeat. And it'd probably be one of the more challenging things in the game. Super cool idea. We've got more pictures of it though, but I just wanted to kind of show this to you guys because I feel like it's something that Wizard needs at this point. You know, at high level, at level 130 plus, there's not too much going on. I feel like we need something else besides like just dungeons at this point, and all the other MMOs that are, you know, a little more involved and a little more complex have raid systems. Some people might argue, oh, Wizard doesn't need stuff like this because it's not like a hardcore game or anything like that. But it doesn't mean they can't do it. You know, it doesn't mean that we shouldn't get something like that. It could be optional content, and it could have the best gear in the game too, but it doesn't need to be something that is easy and that everyone can just get through no problem, because it'll be optional. This isn't going to be a main story quest here. No way. It would be a side quest, side, you know, whatever. It's in Wizard City, but I kind of like it in Wizard City because it's like, oh, this part of Wizard City is getting attacked by this huge monster, and we need level 130 players to go and defeat him. That's awesome. I would love that. They could put a little bit of a story behind it, but it'd basically just be one fight. I mean, they could have like smaller fights before, but that'd be kind of weird. Unless it was like 8 versus 8. I don't know if they could do that, or 6 versus 6. But the main battle would be against this guy, 8 versus 1. And all the players could use their spells. If you used hit all, I guess it would just hit once on the boss. So you probably wouldn't want to use hit alls because he can't summon minions. It's just him. And I think it'd be a super unique experience in this game. And it's something that is possible in WIZARD101. I think it is possible to create something like this. It would take a lot of work, but it's something that high-level wizards definitely could benefit on. It seems like we are getting some kind of, you know, dungeon for level 130, probably towards the end of the year, I would guess, because always the big updates come out in November, maybe October, but we're probably getting that. But what if it was like a raid? I know it's probably not going to happen, but what if it was a raid instead of just another dungeon that has the cool gear? And we'd up the player count and have a really cool boss. It would be optional. Like the dungeons of like Darkmoor, the Darkmoor dungeon, and Aquila dungeon are both optional. You don't have to do those, but it's really highly advised that you do it because Darkmoor gives you a spell, and Aquila, I guess Aquila is a little more optional than the other ones, but they're still good gear. And I'd like to see that good gear, like the best gear, kind of put behind something like this. And they could really like run with this and add more later. So here's another angle of the fight where you can see the gigantic Titan guy just like standing there, and it's kind of on the edge of a cliff with the waterfall. It looks really nice, but yeah, this guy just like burst into Wizard City, and I think there's one screenshot. I don't know if it was the last one, but you can like see where he like broke the wall of like the outer perimeter of Wizard City to get here. But he looks pretty awesome, and they could have like maybe a little cinematic of him walking in or like summoning himself to the battle. From this angle, you can actually see what I was talking about with the wall where it's like broken, and that's where the Titan came in, and you would fight him there. So they could make it so that maybe there's like some part of Wizard City that we've never been to yet where this guy came from, and we have to stop him before he moves into the other part of Wizard City, and that's where this battle takes place. Like, we're stopping him right kind of at the beginning of where he got into Wizard City, and this is where the battle takes place. That's kind of like in my head what I'm seeing here. So I just really like it. I don't know. I feel like they could do a lot with this, and I really want it to happen now that I'm seeing it, like full concept of it. This is just ideas, by the way. None of this is true. This is just Skarrix creating this on his own. I've shown stuff from him before, and he does a really good job of making it look pretty realistic. And this one is just the concept of the boss himself, and he's got like little horns with like the tree roots that are kind of holding him together. It's kind of like a titan, like a grass titan or a rock titan or something like that. A life titan, maybe. And I think it's really cool. So that is the 4 screenshots that Skarrix came out with. You probably saw it on Twitter if you follow him or if you follow people in the Wiz community. But he was really excited to show that off, and I think it turned out really cool. But that is the raid boss idea, and I really want it to happen. It probably wouldn't happen this year. I know that Matt, the game designer, said that it's a good idea, but it's like, well, it takes more than one game designer to create something like this. They would have to completely focus on just creating this, even though this year would be a good year for it because They're not really coming out with another Ark world, so side stuff would be most likely thing that we're getting, and I'd love to see this rather than a dungeon. But maybe they're gonna make a really cool dungeon this year that we're gonna get for level 130, and I'm excited to see that, but probably not till the end of the year. But there you go, first video in a while. Just wanted to kind of highlight this idea that has been going around the community. A lot of people have been talking about this, saying it's a good idea, and I think it's a really cool idea. But is it ever going to happen? Are we ever going to actually get raids in this game? And how would it work out with the group system? Are you going to have to create your own group of 8 wizards, like 6 or 8 wizards? That could be difficult. Is there going to be a group finder where you're able to queue up, like, you know, and team up for this? Which team up for this could be a little more difficult because you want your team to be kind of balanced in terms of a couple healers. You probably want 2 healers. If you have 8 wizards, you're going to want like 2 healers and then a bunch of other people that can just hit or blade and all that stuff. He's going to have a lot of health and cheats. So that's something also to keep in mind. So that's the idea. That's the raid boss. I will link Skarrix's Twitter in the description if you want to check him out, see other things that he's created. But let me know what you guys think in the comments of this idea, if it's something that you want to see at high level, because this would be a high level thing. And I think it's something that Wizard could definitely benefit from. And I don't know, it's something that seems far off, but I think it's possible. I think it's plausible that Wizard could actually create something like this and add it to the game at some point. Not this year, but some year. Who knows? But that's going to do it for me. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this idea, if you think it's cool, make sure to leave a like on the video. Subscribe for more Wizard videos in the future. And I'll see you all next time.